Helen Stoddart. She is leading with the conference that is starting up this weekend and actually coming back again this week. I don't know how many years. We're going to ask her that in a few minutes, how many times they've done this. But Dr. Helen Stoddart is with us for a breakfast chat. Welcome and thank you for being
Well,
here.
thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here
We-
this morning.
We're happy to have you here this morning.
And the breakfast is delicious.
Yes, it is. We're going to chat it up, chat it up. All right, so listen, tell me about how many times have you done this? This is what?
This is our second annual Reverse It Now Summit.
Second annual Reverse
Second
It.
annual
Okay.
Reverse It Now Summit. Last year was absolutely
Yes, it
spectacular.
was. I remember that. Okay, didn't come, but I helped out a little bit.
Yes,
Yeah.
you did. You did. You helped out a lot, actually. We had the voice of Miss Dawna Baker
Oh,
as
wow.
the what is the voice
The
of
voice
God?
of God, the VLG for
Yes.
the conference, and
Yes.
that was fun. That was
Yes.
fun.
Mhm.
So tell us about your background and what brought you back to Huntsville.
Well, I am one of 8 children who graduated from Oakwood University.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so interesting when you go to Oakwood, there's like such an amazing experience there. But you don't want to be in Huntsville.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I'm so excited to go out of here. But we moved to DC, did medical school
Mm-hmm.
at Howard University and graduate school at Howard University, and then had the opportunity to do a combined residency at Johns Hopkins and Sinai in
Mm-hmm.
internal medicine and physical medicine and rehabilitation. And then I did my fellowship training in sports medicine and non-surgical orthopedics and then interventional pain.
Yeah.
So I've been practicing interventional pain, and that's actually what brought me back to Huntsville. It's very interesting. Our kids were small at the time, and we were just like, I think we want to move back to Huntsville,
Right,
which is so
okay.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going back to Huntsville. And there was a headhunter that I had, and the headhunter found this place, and it was like this metropolitan city in the South. The pictures were beautiful, and I was like, "Where is that?" And he said, "Huntsville." I was like, "Get me an interview
Wow.
there." And that's how we got back to Huntsville.
Wow.
I came here, practiced interventional pain at an orthopedic practice here.
So tell me about how you got started with the Reverse It Now Summit. Celebration of Wellness is what
Celebration
it is? Okay.
of wellness.
What
Well,
inspired you to create that?
well, my mom, who was like the best mom in the entire world,
Mm-hmm.
developed type 2 diabetes when I was much younger, and they used to call it a little sugar.
Yeah, that's what they called it.
A little
Yeah, because my
sugar.
mom had a little sugar too.
Right, a little sugar, but a little sugar does some incredible things to your body, and then not in a good way. And so my mom developed many of the side effects of a little sugar. She had high blood pressure, high cholesterol. She had some kidney problems, peripheral neuropathy, and the unfortunate and the worst part of it is that she developed heart disease that went on to become congestive heart failure. And I remember the day that I was in California with my friend. It was that Saturday night. I had just told her we'd opened my envelope that said that I
Yeah.
passed boards part 1,
Right.
which is the hardest part of the boards that you ever have to take. And I went to California and hung out with my friend Lillian, and we were just out at Redondo Beach, just kind of hanging out, and got back to her house with her mom.
Right.
And the phone rang, and it was one of those corded phones, that was on the wall.
Right,
and
right.
You pull the phone, and you can pull the phone like and walk to the
Half of
backyard.
the people listening don't even know what that is. Okay, right.
And so we were on that phone, and my sister and another friend was on the phone, and they told me that my mom had coded and they weren't able to revive her. And the scream that came out of my mouth was the worst thing that you could ever
Right.
imagine. And so that type 2 diabetes that was a little sugar turned out to be really devastating for our family.
Wow. So that's what got you into really focusing on diabetes and reversing it.
Yes.
It was after your mom's passing, though, right?
Yeah, well, see, a year later,
Mm.
my dad developed metastatic cancer, and it was in his prostate, colon, liver, lungs, and bone. They gave him 6 months to live at the Mayo Clinic. And, he started chemo, and just in an effort to try to get him to tolerate the chemo better, we found a place that really did a 180 lifestyle change.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
This was incredible. This company believed in the power of food and other lifestyle changes that redirected his life.
Yeah.
And my dad went there. When he first got there, he was so weak and just, just felt like he was like this frail thing. And my dad was always a strong voice in my life. And to hear him so weak, it was so disheartening. And here I am still in medical school, right? I was, when my mom passed the year before, I had just gone from sophomore year to junior year. I was on my way to junior year. And now this is the end of my junior year, and I hear my dad has metastatic cancer. We just went out of control. We were like, we got to find something. And so to help him tolerate that, he went to this place. They completely changed his lifestyle. And in 2 weeks, I called him back, and he was like, "Hey, how you doing?"
What?
I was like, "What in the world just happened
All
here?
life back
I need to know what just happened here."
Right.
He was like, "I don't know. I've been eating stuff I've never eaten before. I've been doing things I've never done before. I feel great."
Wow.
I was like, "What is that?" And my dad was able to live 11 years past his 6-month diagnosis. He watched me walk down the aisle to get my degree from medical school. He watched me finish my residency. He watched me marry my favorite husband. He watched me have my 2 children. And it was so amazing because that was time that we would never have had. And so I was so excited about this, but I was like, I need to find out what they did there.
Right.
So I spent 2 weeks there because I was like, I need to learn this information because this is powerful. And it's so interesting because we can go back to like where the power came from. Right? The power came from Genesis 1:29 when Jesus said, and he and his dad got together and said, "Hey, let's make this food."
Right.
They did something special to that food. And it's only when the food is tampered with, and you'll see it in so many different ways because they're tampering with the ones he made as well. But I've learned all of these different things, and I can help people navigate through what they've messed with and what God made so that we can eat the food that he said was the one that give us life. And that's really, that's really the bottom line. But my goal really, I spoke at a church in Plainfield, Illinois, and the pastor was teasing. He was like, "I know Dr. Helen's going to come in here and feed us thorns and thistles to eat or whatever." But it was so interesting because we had a spread. We did a food spread, so he was able to actually experience what the food is like. And he was like, "Oh, this is delicious." Right? So my goal is really to show people how to put together the meals so that they're delicious, that you don't miss it. I had a friend when I was in graduate school. She was working on her PhD when I was working on my master's, and she's Jamaican curry goat. She was like in all of the all of those different things. And I invited her to our house, to my house. I was a student for Thanksgiving, and I fixed all the fixings for Thanksgiving, except there was no meat.
That's good. Yeah.
But she had no idea. She was like, at the end of the meal, she was just like, "Wait a minute, we didn't eat any meat today." And I was like, "Right." She was like, "Oh my goodness, she has not eaten meat since."
What? She just went cold turkey. So
she didn't know that it could be that way, right? She had no idea that there was a way to do it and stay healthy and still eat foods that you want to eat that are delicious, but still maintain your health. And
well, tell us about the conference then, because this sounds good. Is this part of what's going to be offered at the conference?
Let me tell you, this conference is going to be so spectacular because the thing that we're going to do is we're going to teach you the tips, tools, and tricks. And we're going to give you some hacks on how to reverse type 2 diabetes. And we're going to show you some fitness sessions, like the exact exercises that you can do to reverse type 2 diabetes. Now that's going to start at 6:30 in the morning. And if you are up to the challenge, it's really going to be kind of fun because it's a line dance. Right? Because we want to, it doesn't have to be, well, it's not the fans. But the thing is that people think that it has to be drudgery.
Okay, right.
And that, I got to get up and go to the gym, and I got to do this. We want to teach you how to do it easily, right? How to get up and do some things for your body to get yourself moving, because it's really about movement. And there's a way that we can open up the channels where the glucose goes inside the muscle cells, and we're going to open up those channels so that your blood sugar goes down instead of going up. Okay. We don't want those sugar spikes. And the other thing that we're going to do is, my favorite husband is going to be doing this amazing jazz brunch, and it's a cortisol lowering brunch, because as you know, cortisol, this hormone actually makes your blood sugar spike. And so we're teaching how to lower your blood sugar levels. And he's going to have one of his friends come in, Jasmine Gent. She's coming in from Canada. She's a jazz saxophonist. And I just learned that she was at Jazz in the Park a couple of weeks ago. So that's really exciting. So she said, I've just left Huntsville. I was like, oh, good. Well, you're coming back again too. So this is really, really exciting. And then we're going to do a cooking demonstration, because we want to be able to show people like some tools and some hacks in the kitchen, because that's one of the things that people tell me about is like, they come to my house and they're like, if I could eat like this, I would do this. And so we're going to give them some hacks and show them how to do that.
It is good food. I've had the honor of being a guest at her home and eating that delicious food. Tell me, who are you expecting to come? Who should be at this conference? Are we only talking about people who are concerned about type 2 diabetes, or?
Well, it's very interesting, because like I told you, my mom had type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. She was overweight. She developed renal problems, peripheral neuropathy, and heart problems. And it's very interesting that what we're going to teach is paramount to those inflammatory diseases. Those are chronic inflammatory conditions, and people that have those conditions really should be there.
Okay.
These tools are necessary, and they're universal.
Wow. So you like to say at your conferences, you're unapologetically undiabetic.
Unapologetically undiabetic, absolutely.
Why is that?
Because the thing is that when you can reverse a disease, there are no apologies to be made. You don't have to apologize. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't have to take this medication anymore. No, I'm unapologetic. I don't need this anymore. Right? I'm unapologetic that I no longer have to get those little those finger prick things that hurt my hand, or even wear a CGM on my body because I have to get it every 2 weeks. I'm unapologetic that I no longer have to spend money on all of these medications, and I no longer have to lose time at work, or I no longer have to worry about not feeling well because my energy is sapped because I'm not utilizing my glucose that gives me the energy. I'm unapologetic about that. I am undiabetic, and I am very excited about it.
Wow. And we're excited to have you here to talk about it as well. What are some of the other things as we get ready to go? I love talking about this topic. I've talked about this topic with other individuals as well. Yes. But what makes your conference different? What separates it from others that we've already seen here?
Well, I tell you that our conference is physician-led, and so we're going to have me, yours truly. We're going to be giving you the tools on how to actually change how to change your lifestyle. We're going to talk about the health flow quadrant and how to move you from being a passive bystander in your health and becoming active to propel you to active CEO of your health. We're going to also have Dr. John Roberts, who is who's a local pain physician wellness doctor here, who's going to be coming and talking about peripheral neuropathy, to talk about how to get some hacks and how we can help you with those different kinds of things. And so this is a physician-led event with cooking demonstrations and fitness sessions and jazz brunches, cortisol lowering brunches. This is the most fun you're going to have learning something that you've ever experienced in life.
So how many people are you expecting, and how can we register?
Well, we're trying to keep it intimate, just about 50, 75 people, really, because we want to make sure that we give people exactly what they need, and that there's more guidance. Sometimes when there's too many people, people get lost in the crowd. And we want to make sure that everybody gets their information. It's going to be at the Westin Hotel right here at Bridge Street, and I spoke with the chef was it Friday?
Yeah.
She is so excited
Mhm.
about cooking this food. She
Oh,
was
wow.
like, Dr. Helen, I love your food. It is so delicious, because she did all the recipes that we did
Yes.
last year,
Oh,
and
wow.
people just enjoyed the
Awesome.
food so much. That was one of the highlights of the event, and so she's so excited. We're going to do a Mexican themed brunch this year. We got dessert, we got the whole thing. We're going to show you how you can do it, how
Yes.
you can partake, enjoy,
Yes.
and lower your blood sugar at the same time.
Awesome. Well, Dr. Helen Stoddart, thank you for coming in and
Well, let
joining
me
us
tell
today.
you how to get there.
Okay, yes.
Yes, so we can go on www.reverseitnow.org
Okay.
and register for the summit.
Okay.
Right.
So
Register
I've
for
been
the
talking
summit.
about Pain to Wellness
And
Healthcare.
Pain to
Okay,
Wellness
they can go there
Healthcare.
too.
You
Okay, I
can
was
go
about to
there
say we
as
need
well.
to make sure we say that again.
Pain, the number
The
2,
wellness
wellnesshealthcare.com.
Right.
Not Pain to Wellness.
Right.
Pain to wellnesshealthcare.com, and make
Right.
sure you put the number 2 in
All
there.
righty, so go ahead and do that. That's how you can register. It's going to be happening on Sunday, October the 5th. That's coming up this weekend at the Westin Hotel on Bridge Street. So thank you so much for being with us
Well,
today
thank
for a
you
breakfast
so
chat and
much
hanging
for
out with
having
me.
for this delicious breakfast.
All right, well, thank you. Yes.
Finish what you started.
All
Leap
righty,
into
we
your
got
future
through
with
it.